Meantime, Jaime Jaquez Jr. leaving the state of California. Brandin Podziemski staying in the state of California, headed to the Golden State Warriors, the school's third draft pick since 1986, joining two-time NBA MVP Steve Nash and all-rookie first-team selection Jalen Williams last year. Podziemski, one of three players in Division I to average at least 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists per game, finished 5th in the nation in three-point field goal percentage at 44%. Brandin Podziemski out of Santa Clara.
Listen, Jalen Williams, a year ago, he went from, all right, he's going to be a pick, second round, first round, has an amazing combine, becomes a lottery pick, and then a top 5 rookie with Oklahoma City. Now for a second straight year, only Coulibaly had a bigger, brighter rise over the past month than Podziemski, who has turned himself into a top 20 pick, and wonderful for him. There's a wonderful story written by our own Kyle Boone at CBSSports.com about Podziemski. I encourage you to go read that at some point here as well. Golden State, new leadership there. You've got Mike Dunleavy Jr., who's going to be running the front office now that they had that switch there. He will be a supplemental player, but obviously this is a franchise right now that is in the midst of a lot of change on the floor. Jordan Poole, he's gone. Podziemski, you bring him in, you hope he's the right guy in their system. They've had some draft whiffs in recent seasons of higher picks. Podziemski's a mid to late first rounder. We'll see if he works out. He did a wonderful job improving his stock over the past 6 weeks.
Yeah, let's go back to Tim Doyle here. And Tim, the Warriors making a couple moves here on draft day. They acquired Chris Paul, the 18-year NBA vet, getting rid of Jordan Poole as part of the deal. Now they add Brandin Podziemski, who I would have to say that most of the country doesn't know a whole lot about Brandin Podziemski. What do you know? What do you like about his game?
Well, I can do a little bit of everything. And here's a guy who put his name in the transfer portal after averaging less than 2 points a game at Illinois. And talk about having the glow up. You know, Matt mentioned going to Santa Clara. Herb Sendek knows what he's doing as far as teaching a well-rounded game. Jalen Williams came in. He had a high basketball IQ. He knew how to play. And when I look at Podziemski, I see a lot of that style. Now, this is the best thing that's ever happened to this young man, because he gets to see every single day what Jordan Poole saw. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson work on their game and get better and expand. Oh, and by the way, what a sounding board. Hey, why'd you go that way on that pick and roll? What do you do here? Like, when you learn from pros like that, and if you're a sponge and you want to learn and take it all in, you're only going to get better. You know what I mean? Like, look at the guards that have played behind them. Like, all those guys have gone on and meant something, because you're with two Hall of Famers who could show you how to work. So love the fit, local guy. So obviously they watched him a lot, and they were like, all right, if this guy falls to us, we're going to end up taking him. 6'5", 200 pounds. Biggest question mark is, can he guard? Because you're going to get in the league, and if you can't guard, you're going to get exposed. I mean, Jimmer Fredette was an amazing offensive player, one of the best offensive players of my generation. Couldn't guard a chair, didn't last long in the NBA. But local kid getting drafted by the Warriors, dream come true type stuff.
Adam, your grade here for the Warriors for this pick?
B-. I think he's a good fit offensively because he can shoot. He's got a good feel for the game. He can really shoot the ball. So he's going to fit on the offensive end of the floor, have questions, as Tim said, on the defensive end. Specifically, he's undersized. He measured in under 6'4" without shoes. He's got relatively short arms for an NBA player. And although he measured a 39.5-inch vertical, he doesn't play with much athletic pop. So I do think he's going to be a good fit offensively because of the space that Golden State plays in. But on a team that now has Chris Paul and Steph Curry in the backcourt and really struggled with Jordan Poole's deficiencies defensively, I just worry about what that end of the floor could be like for him.
All right, so let's welcome back in Kyle Boone. Kyle, is Brandin Podziemski going to be as good as Steve Nash and Jalen Williams? Are we going to put that on him? Does he have that sort of ceiling in the NBA?
Yeah, that's pretty high expectations, I think, for Brandin Podziemski, someone who's getting picked 19th in this draft. But his path to getting here, I think, is really impressive. We're talking about a 4-star recruit who went to Illinois, played a total of 69 minutes at Illinois. Not very nice. And he was buried on that bench, decided he wanted to transfer to Santa Clara, develops into a first-round pick. He was the co-WCC Player of the Year last season alongside Gonzaga's Drew Timme, averaged 20 points per game, shot above 40%. from three-point range. And I talked to Podziemski just a few weeks ago in a story that I wrote for CBS Sports about, where did you learn to play and how did you play? What did you model your game after? And he said, I watched NBA 2K10. I just watched some of the shooting mechanics. I tried to mimic that type of thing at recess at school and just kind of developed from there. This is a guy who grew up playing baseball and football primarily in Wisconsin and picked up basketball essentially because he liked playing the video game. So it's a wild story. Someone who went essentially from off the radar entirely in terms of his draft stock to becoming a top 20 pick in this year's class. It's really, really impressive.
Shouts to NBA 2K, right?
Crazy.
That's right.
It's a pretty good game.
Yeah, crazy story.
And now he's playing the real game in the NBA.